Now, it's a condition that's notoriously difficult to diagnose, although it's known that 250,000 people in Britain suffer from it. We're talking about ME, or chronic fatigue syndrome. Now, that left Janetta Marshall housebound for 7 years. But as Dr. Hilary discovered, she's now managing to get her life back on track.
With headlines like these, it's not surprising that there's still a lot of confusion about ME. Also known as chronic fatigue syndrome, it's a condition we're very much still learning about. As such, some people don't think their doctors know how to treat them, or even worse, don't even believe them. It's thought there are around 250,000 people with the condition in the UK. 25% of these are housebound or even bedbound. It can cause debilitating fatigue and pain in muscles and joints. All ages are affected. There's still a great deal of confusion about how it should be treated.
It's really mix and match, and that's why you need a sympathetic doctor. There are some nice guidelines suggesting cognitive behavioural therapy and graded exercise can help, but it only helps people with mild to moderate ME, and it can make some people worse.
The ME can be very, very bad. I'm housebound with it 100% of the time.
Janetta has ME. Shortly after she gave birth to her daughter, she became extremely unwell.
I put it down to the baby blues and just thought that the symptoms would disappear. But over time, they just became worse and worse, and I started feeling more tired. It makes you feel useless, and it makes me feel so low because I'm not going out and working, and it makes me feel guilty that I'm not being a proper mum to my daughter as well.
A condition so hard to diagnose is predictably difficult to treat, so doctors are thinking of new ways to help. Including something called the lightning process, a 3-day program based on the idea that our thoughts and beliefs can somehow influence our immune system. Supporters say it's very effective. 5 weeks ago, we followed Janetta as she went on the course to see if it could help her. Costing up to £500, it's a non-medical treatment that claims to help change negative thoughts, which advocates believe can make physical symptoms of ME much worse. So how is she feeling now?
I feel completely different. I feel fantastic. I've got loads of energy now, and I'm able to basically do what I want to do. It makes a huge difference to the family, yeah, because we just never spent time together before doing things as a family. I was always in bed, so it's made a huge difference, and it's made it easier.
It seems Janetta is lucky. For many others, these techniques don't work. So until we understand this condition more, thousands of people's lives are on hold, waiting for their chance to beat ME.
Well, Dr. Hilary's with me now. It's such a cruel, cruel illness because people don't understand it, and there's that thing of, oh, come on, you know, pull yourself together, get up out of bed, you'll be fine, you know,
Absolutely.
And of course you can't. You absolutely can't.
Yeah, it's one of the most misunderstood conditions in the history of medicine, I think, and a lot of people still question whether it exists or not. But in fact, it's recognised by the World Health Organization. NICE have issued guidelines about its diagnosis and its best treatment. So it's definitely out there, and if you've met any of the severe sufferers, you'd really know.
Oh, it's awful.
Children who've got pegs in their stomach because they can't swallow, so they're bedridden, they have to be fed by a tube through the stomach, they're totally disabled, it's very disruptive to family life.
And it's horrible, and it's just that you just lose all your energy, I'm sure.
Sure.
Now, we've all felt like that at some points of our life, sort of maybe felt a bit tired.
Yeah.
But when it's ME, what are the symptoms then?
Let's look at the symptoms. The main symptoms, because they can be confusing and different for different people, but predominantly it is this severe and persistent fatigue.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, often problems with concentration, that's a major issue. We've also got sleeping patterns which are disturbed, so erratic sleeping patterns, so you don't get the rest that you really, really need. And there may be problems with aching in the muscles and joints continuously, not just caused by exercise and not relieved by rest, but they're there all the time.
It's just always you have that horrible, horrible feeling.
Yeah.
That technique that we saw was very interesting.
The lightning process. Yeah, it's really interesting. It taps into the connection between the mind and the body, and it looks at the way our thoughts and our ideas and our beliefs can influence the immune system. It's a 3-day programme, but, you know, it has an 85% positive outcome.
And I guess you'd want to try anything, because sometimes, you know, like if you like, traditional methods aren't actually going to
Sure.
help. That's the trouble
Yeah,
with ME,
this is
isn't
it. Well, the standard treatments for ME are, I mean, first of all, you need a sympathetic therapist. You need a
Yes.
doctor who really believes in it. You need somebody who's going to take it forward. Probably graded exercises, so you do as much as you can before you feel exhausted, and then you step that up according to how your body responds.
Yeah.
Cognitive behavioural therapy to give you ways of coping with the problems when it flares up, because there is this
Yeah.
variability in symptoms. Some days you're better, some days you're worse, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of employers, a lot of friends don't really understand it. They say, well, come on, how can it be bad one day and better the next? That's exactly what ME does. Those are exactly the symptoms you get. So we need a better understanding, first of all. The exercises I mentioned, and then cognitive behavioural therapy. But we can also treat the pain of the muscles. We can treat any depression that comes with it. But it's not like an ordinary depression. Some people dismiss it as depression.
Yeah.
It's more than that, because ME patients are motivated. They want
They
to go
don't
to
want-
school.
yeah,
they
they don't
want to go
be
to
in
work.
bed.
They don't want
It's
to be in bed. They want to
so
get on with their
upsetting.
lives. And one of the remarkable things about the lightning process, and I don't know that much about it, but those people who have done really well, and I'm not talking about, it doesn't work for everybody,
No.
but some people have been taken out of hospital where orthodox medicine hasn't been able to do much for them, and within a few months they're climbing the Himalayan peaks.
Extraordinary.
You know, they're
extraordinary.
actually walking
Yeah.
vast distances.
You've got to
and
keep
doing
an open
amazing
mind, and like I
things.
say, if you've got something like that, you would be willing to try anything. Hilary, thank you very
Pleasure.
much indeed. Thank you.